Hello, hello there. Uh, daily check-in. Daily check-in. I think I actually forgot to post yesterday's. I think I recorded it but forgot to post it. So I'll have to do that today. Interesting. Everything's interesting, right? Because we're taking note of different things. As I said in yesterday's post, which I haven't uploaded yet, I went with the kids to see our Auslan tutor Jenny, this horse, yesterday, and she took some photos and things and sent them through to my phone last night. And I was looking at the photos, at myself in the photos, and being like, fudge mate, is that what I look like? Is that what I look like? Because and I'm sure that like those who edit like videos and things could just like pop up a little the photo in question. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm literally just recording and posting. That simple. Maybe when I like down the track, when I'm professional, I'll be able to do something like that. But at the moment, I've got no idea how to do that. Yeah, and I was sort of hunched and like, and I was like, my goodness, that's what I look like. And I think it just sort of shocked me a bit. And I think in normal circumstances, when people see things like that, or if previously, like before I was aware I was in this process, I would have freaked out, like I did, and I don't know, like got a trainer and tried to manage my diet and change my diet, changed a lot of things. Whereas, as I've said previously, I eat what I eat. If I want to eat 5 Easter eggs in a day, I'll eat 5, and a cookie, I'll eat 5 Easter eggs in a day. Previously, I'd be more aware of my eating, as in like, I would, like if I ate a sweet something in the morning, I'd be like, well, I can't have one in the afternoon. Or if I've already, whatever, you get the gist. I'd be really aware of my sugar intake. There was a time there where I wasn't eating sugar at all in sort of conventional forms, not necessarily within foods, as in, conventional foods, sugary specific foods. Oh, excuse me. And that was like a good fair few months. Like, that was maybe a year, maybe. And I'm a definite sweet tooth, so that was a lot. And it was just became like the norm for me. But then you start up again. And then find yourself eating whatever. So, yeah. Previously, and normal folks not doing this process would try and create change right now. Try and do everything in their power to and try and fix posture, because my posture was terrible. Like, I was all hunched, and I'll share the photo. So you can go and have a look at it. But in my process, it's looking at it, I guess, bookmarking it as this is where I'm at, and letting it do its thing. I guess the more that I do that, just documenting where I'm at, that creates the friction that I talked about in a different post about where I'm at and where I wish to be. And the interesting thing about working with the unknown is you're pretty much going on a feeling. Instead of a visual. I know, like Dr. Joe, when he's talking about stepping into the future self, it's all about having that visual. And reinforcing that visual self, like that visual of the future self, the visual of, and feeling, but this is not necessarily the feelings that I'll have as my future self. This is feeling the gap in between, which is interesting because I saw something that he was, a snippet of him talking yesterday about once we can, like, not stepping back into the past. And I'm not necessarily saying step back into the past. I'm just saying look at our triggers and not analysing our triggers, but allowing the triggers to be a gateway for our feelings and sitting in our feelings. Thanks, puppy dog. And that creates the anchor point. Doing that, sitting in our feelings, creates the anchor point as to where we are now. And the more we do that, the more that we become aware of ultimate potentials that are available to us. And this is not like, I am aware that I am shown or led to potentials that are, I guess, kind of the starting point, but not necessarily, like they're like level one. They're the level one energy. So for example, I'm aware that I've been drawn to watching people like Trini London. I've forgotten her last name. Trini. And not necessarily her makeup stuff, but more relating to her clothes. I hardly have any clothes because they've either like died or they're too small. So I hardly have any clothes whatsoever. So it's interesting watching someone like Trini, who's been collecting, like lovingly collecting clothes all her life, and has clothes upon clothes upon clothes. but it's interesting watching her process. And recently I've sort of been drawn to also following people who are wearing what they want. And it's this thing called dopamine dressing, which I wonder if when some of you actually end up watching this video, you'll be like, dopamine dressing? This is how everyone dresses all the time. One day, I'm sure. Yeah, this dopamine dressing, which is like dressing for what lights you up, dressing for what makes you happy, putting on clothes that make you happy. And so I've sort of somewhat started doing that with the limited amount of clothes that I have. Because you got to start somewhere, right? So I'm aware that my body is not in a shape that feels right for me. I'm aware that I have no clothes. Very limited amount of clothes. I'm aware of where I'm at. I'm aware of my feelings as to where I'm at. And the more that I sink deeper and deeper into those feelings, the more I'm aware of the polar opposite, not the polar opposite. I'm aware of something else. I'm aware of not specifics, but just a feeling of ultimate potentials that are available in relation to that, in relation to clothes, in relation to my body. I'm aware and have been aware for a long time. When I say a long time, 7 years of this, as in this spiritual journey has been, it feels like a long time. What was I going to say? I became aware a few years ago, that there's just a different way of doing this thing. We don't have to be eating healthy and exercising and doing the things that we're told is the only way to support our body. There's another way of doing this, and it is so much goddamn easier. And that, I think, is the only thing that is, as in that realization, and the fact that it was years ago and that it came through, and it was like, and I look at gyms and I go, what is the point? Because there's other ways of doing this that are so much easier. Especially if you're only doing it because of shame, because you think that that's the only way. And at the moment, in this world, it is the only way. But, or Ozempic, you know, that weight loss drug that all of Hollywood seem to be on. Ozempic, something, you know what I mean. It's not like it's not the only way. It's the old way. Moving through, like, trying to change dense humanity. Whereas what I'm leading to is choice. What am I choosing for my body to look like in this moment? What am I choosing for my body to be in this moment? And how will that align directly with my soul? And unlike at the moment, like, when you choose something, either like, okay, I'm going to choose to be fit, healthy and skinny, I'm gonna choose to be a size 10. Do you know how long that would take me? As a soon to be 44-year-old mother of 3, that would be hard. That would be really hard. And it would take a long time. And it would take a lot of consistent effort. What I'm saying is that with the next iteration, with the next human experience, it will just be a choice. Right now, in this moment, I'm choosing for my body to look like this. And it won't necessarily be what aligns with what is trendy, because I'm doing so much work to bring my soul and my density, my dense body together as equal partners to then amalgamate into something else entirely. I'm working really, really darn tootin' hard on that. And so when you are that, the latest trend doesn't matter, isn't a thing. It's what is best for me. And that will be the same for each of us. Like, what are they called? People who are... What are they called? You know, people who are on the internet and they sell shit just by influencers. They sell shit. There will be no influencers, because it will be, does this thing align fully with my, is what I'm choosing? No, there's not even going to be a thing like that. The choices available will only be things that align fully with your essence, like the energy of who you are. There will not be a choice that is outside of that. So influences are not, our world is going to be vastly different. Our world is going to be vastly different. Vastly different. I wonder about social media in its current form. I wonder about the common structures, government, police, hospitals, doctors. I wonder about, if we're all fully aligned with who we are, and we're making choices that align with that, that are aligned with that. I don't know, maybe there is sickness in it, but in a really different way. I don't know. Maybe because we'll be in a different form, maybe viruses will be able to work with us in a different way. In a way that is easier than it is now. I don't know. But that's me with my body. Yeah, that's me taking a part of the way that, what's coming up for me. What's coming up for me. And showing you how my process works in relation to that. Burps. Yeah.